was February / March. And I began to think, Lord, how do I bring our on-site training, the training we conduct in our center, and 4 days training, Christian entrepreneurship training, how do I bring that on Zoom? Because the government says, no congregation, you shouldn't meet if you are more than 5 or 6, and so on and so forth. And so as I was thinking, pondering on that, then the Lord told me again, say, what about Zoom? And you know what? Many people have been asking me for many months that, doctor, when are you going to be teaching online? That is teaching Christian entrepreneurship and course online. I said, no, I don't want to go online because people are not serious online and so on and so forth. But when COVID-19 came and they said lockdown, the word, the way the word came to me, it was so serious. I said, lockdown? I don't want people to be locked down. I don't want my brain to be locked down. So I began to research. That was when I now went into Zoom to look at all the features of Zoom that can exactly replicate what we do on site. So, and that was when I began to look at how to schedule meetings, the security features, how people can register, not just meeting ID and password. How do you make people secure? How do you secure your account? How do you, present like this? How do you share screen? So all these things led me to do a lot of research. And part of that research is what I'm bringing today. Because even after we started our training, I've attended many conferences and I've seen the struggle that people go through, especially with using Zoom. So this morning, as I've come to you, I haven't come to say that I have the reservoir of the knowledge on how to use Zoom, but I'm just going to share my experience of how I navigated through Zoom, so that at least to some extent, we can also navigate. Through Zoom, we can use it, because whether we like it or not, technology has come to stay. And when the Bible says this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached to all nations, and then the end will come. We never envisaged social media. I don't think nobody ever thought about Zoom or not, but COVID-19 came, problems came, but we all look for solution because God has already prepared a platform for us to continue to do our work, even with COVID-19 or whatever may come. It just depends on how you see challenges. When you see challenges, you think, okay, I want to look for solutions, or I just want to just release myself and do whatever I like. So Zoom is one of God's rescue, one of God's ways of rescuing us, or one of God's, when the Bible says you will not be challenged more than what you can bear, he said, with every challenge and temptation, it will make a way of escape. So I believe Zoom is one of the ways of escape that God has given to us. So I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to use Zoom. And I believe that today, I believe most of us are on our laptops, because for you to effectively use Zoom, especially if you're going to be having meetings, you're going to be the one in charge of meetings, it's good for you to use your laptop. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you very shortly. This is a workshop. So after I have explained some key aspects of how to use Zoom, then I will open the platform for questions. I don't know, maybe some of your questions would have been answered in the course of this training, but if not, I would encourage you to ask your question at the end of the presentation or at the end of the workshop. So it's going to be very, very practical. I will take you through the Zoom website. I will take you through meeting controls. How do you use meeting controls? How do you schedule meetings? So I will take you through all this. How do you log in? All the simple things, and then even breakout sessions. I'm going to be talking about security. How do you make your participants feel safe even while you are conducting a Zoom training? So I will talk about registration, because your security starts from when you schedule your meeting. So registration, waiting rooms, co-hosting, asking participants to name themselves, before they join, or maybe using authentication, so it depends on what appeals to you, or maybe locking the meeting, after you have started. So I would talk about security features, and I will talk about hosting and in-meeting controls like muting your participants, taking off your video, or maybe virtual background, all the aspects of video. I will take you through that, and screen sharing, recording, breakout rooms, and more. And I will also tell us about the type of meeting that suits our organizational needs, because the type of training, or the type of what would I say, not just training, meetings that we use Zoom for might be different from what you use Zoom for, in your organization. But you can come from the simpler way of using Zoom to the more advanced way of using Zoom. It depends on what you want to use Zoom for. And if by any chance we are not able to, if I'm not able to go through the more advanced features, I can in the future, invite those that want to use the advanced features of Zoom. I can invite them to another training on the advanced features, especially if you're going to be using Zoom for conferences, maybe teaching, special trainings, and so on and so forth. So I'm also going to be talking about how to schedule your meetings, whether you will need customized or registered scheduling, or maybe you will require passcode. How do you brand your page? When you are registering, how do you brand your page? And I will also talk about, live streaming. How do you live stream on YouTube and Facebook? And I will talk about using backdrops, backdrops for corporate branding and all the other areas. So right now, I'm just going to take us through some basic. I will share a presentation with you. It's not been easy, because I've been thinking, how do I make sure you see all the buttons, all the meeting control buttons, so that you can effectively know how to use Zoom? Because you can't see my meeting control buttons. I can only see my meeting control buttons. You can see yours. But what appears on your meeting control buttons depends on how you configure your Zoom platform when you register for Zoom, or on your Zoom profile on the Zoom. All right, please, can we? Thank you. Thank you. So it depends on how you configure your Zoom platform. But I will just quickly take us through the, let's say, starting with the Zoom online. How do you access the Zoom online? How do you configure all the meeting controls, security controls, everything on your Zoom platform? So I assume that if you're on this platform right now, that you are on your laptop. So I'm going to be taking us through the signing in and all the meeting controls, how to schedule everything before we come back to, I'm looking at each button of the meeting control. All right. So I will go to my website right now, and I'm going to be sharing my screen with you in a minute. One of the key things you need to understand if you want to share your screen, because I will come back to sharing screen later, but one of the key things you need to understand is that when you want to share your screen, all the windows must be opened. The windows that you want to share, they must be what? They must be open. I'm opening my windows right now. All right. So when I mean by windows, that is all the things that you want to share, maybe the website, or maybe you want to share YouTube, or you want to share your PowerPoint presentation. All the things that you want, you should open them already on your computer. They must be opened, because when you click your share screen, that is when it takes you through, what you have already opened. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, and you will see my window. I believe all of you can see this Zoom platform, Zoom US. So when you get to your website, you type in zoom.us, zoom.us, that is www.zoom.us, and you can see that here. You can see zoom.us. So when you go to that website, then you come back here and you sign in. All right, you sign in for all those who have Zoom accounts. So I'm going to be signing in into my account right now. So when you're signing in, you type in your email and your password. All right. So the first thing when you open your Zoom account, your online Zoom account, you see at the top here, you see schedule a meeting, join a meeting, host a meeting. Then you see solutions, plans and pricing, and contact sales. For some of you who have your Zoom account, this is probably what you will see. All right, plans and pricing. I just clicked on plans and pricing. There are many, plans. You can either sign up to Zoom for free, or you can be billed annually or monthly. All right. So if you're going to sign in to Zoom, you want to have a Zoom account, which is a free account. You see the benefits are there. Zoom account is free for everyone. But if you're going to be using it for a more professional venture, then it means you would have to take one of these 3 accounts, which is a pro, business, or enterprise. So for your free account, if you sign up, there are some limitations. It can allow you to have unlimited meetings, one-on-one meetings, and even up to 100 participants on Zoom. All right, and the maximum is 40 minutes. So it's not, having a free account is not good if you're going to be conducting training or maybe church meetings. So a free account on Zoom, it's not good enough. But if you're just going to be having one-on-one meetings, or maybe 40 minutes is okay for your meeting, maximum of 40 minutes and maximum of 100 participants, then that is good. But if you are going to be maybe having a church meeting, maybe a small conference, a small training session that can take 100 people, all right, 100 people, but at the same time have access to some features, additional features for you to be able to conduct your training, something like screen sharing, something like breakout rooms, something like pre-registration and all those, then you will need a pro account. This is for small teams. And with the pro account, you can get, you can be the only host. You can be the only host. And if you want, if you're a small to medium-sized business and you want to host up to 300 participants, and you want to have more than one host on your Zoom account, then you will take the $15.99 a month, and so on and so forth. So let me leave this page. And this is just signing up to Zoom. So you can choose to have a free account or a pro account. So for me, for now, I operate the pro account, which is the level 99. Though I don't pay level 99 because we signed up for Zoom when Zoom was a little bit expensive. But there are still some things that we enjoy, from using Zoom. All right, so let me leave this aspect and go back to my profile. All right, so let me go to my profile. On your left-hand corner, on your Zoom account, you will see personal, admin. These buttons are there. So if I click on my profile, this is my name, this is my profile, and it shows everything about me. So it can show everything about you. So, and if you are going on Zoom, if you registered, maybe you signed in through your Google account, then it will show your Google profile here to show because it will pre-populate your account. So you can sign in with your Google, or you can create a separate, like I have a separate email address. I don't use my Google account. All right. So now let's go to some important areas of Zoom. Some important areas of Zoom. All right. If you see this, if you click on meetings, because that's basically what we use Zoom for, meetings and meetings. All right. So if you click on meetings, there are aspects of meeting. I will come up here. I hope you can see my pointer. Just follow the red pointer. I will come up here. You see something that says schedule a meeting. Join a meeting, host a meeting. All right. So if you just put your cursor on host a meeting, it will give you 3 drop-down menus: screen share only, with video on, with video off. If you click on host a meeting with video on or video off, it will be you going straight to host a meeting without maybe whether you have invited people before or you've not invited people. But when you use this button, it is not for a pre-registered meeting, like what, because all of you pre-registered to come on this conference. I'm on this training this morning. So if I, as the owner of this Zoom account, we click on this area of hosting a meeting, if I click this and I'm expecting people to join, and when I sent out the invitation, I didn't give them the meeting ID or password. I asked them to fill the registration form, and a unique email has been generated. Then if I'm on this meeting, nobody will be able to join. No one will be able to join this meeting. It will just be I and I only on that meeting. But if I click on this, let's say I have sent out my personal ID and the password to people, and I don't want to go through that. I just say, because I'm the host and everybody has my personal ID, I mean my meeting ID and password, then I just say join with video on or join with video off or screen share only. All right. So if I go through that, for instance, I hold Bible studies every Tuesday. So I use this. I don't need to send invitation out. I don't need to ask people to pre-register, because they already have, all those who are part of the platform already have my meeting ID and password. But if I'm conducting a special training like this, I cannot use that, because I will want everybody that comes on that training to be pre-registered. All right. So I cannot use this feature if I'm inviting people on a pre-registered training. All right. So this is for this. So with video on or with video. Can we please mute ourselves, please? Please mute yourself.
I'm telling you,
Olayinka, please. All right. Thank you. So you either choose this. Then if you are joining a meeting, can you see the second button here? Join a meeting. So if I click on join a meeting, then it will ask me for the meeting ID or personal link name. So I type in my meeting ID here. That is the meeting ID of someone who has invited me. You don't use this button if you are the one hosting the meeting. You use this button if someone has invited you onto a meeting and they've given you the meeting ID and the password. So you type in the meeting ID and you click join. And when you get onto the platform of your host, they can ask you for the password, which is the passcode, or they may not, depending on how they've configured their meeting. So let's go back. So this join a meeting is for when you are the one, you are joining the meeting. This host a meeting is for when you are the one hosting the meeting. Now let's go to scheduling a meeting, which is the third one. So I have clicked on schedule a meeting. Now this one is in twofold. This aspect is in twofold. So you can say my meeting. So let me just type something here. Let me say Zoom meeting. So you type in your meeting information. And if you like, your meeting information is what the meeting is all about. So for instance, if you're having a church leadership meeting or maybe business breakfast meeting, you type in that meeting information here. And here you can enter your meeting description. That is optional. For instance, next week, Saturday, we are hosting an international conference on Christian entrepreneurship. If I'm going to organize such a meeting, I would have to put my description here. I won't just say Christian entrepreneurship and then without description. Because when people register, I want them to have some information about the meeting they're registering for. All right. So I will put some information there. I will just say for pastors or for business or whatever, I will put it here. But if I don't need any information, maybe it's just an ordinary meeting, I can just type what I have here, my meeting information, and the description, I can leave it off. I may not put anything there. It's optional. Now the next one you go to is your time of the meeting, and you can see a calendar here. You click on the calendar, and the calendar shows you dates. You know, maybe your meeting is going to be on the 31st of let me put something in. Let me say 38th, on the 30th of October. What time? Okay, I say 7 p.m. So if it's going to be a PM, I come here, I choose my PM, and I will say, okay, 7 p.m. I scroll down. So I choose 7 p.m. All right, I choose 7 p.m. How many hours? That is the duration. So let me just say 2 hours. 2 hours, 0 minutes, depending on the length of time of your meeting. So you schedule it like this. And the time zone, I'm in London, so I'm going to leave it like this so that anybody that is joining from anywhere will know that it's London time. And you see that my times here says +1, which means in Greenwich Meridian time scale is +1, which means by end of October, time is going to be on the GMT. But for now, we are operating the BST, which is British Summertime. So anybody that is clicking that I send invitation to, they already know +1. So and I can put additional information there to say BST, that is British Summertime. Then the next thing you go to is this going to be a recurring meeting? That is, okay, we say we are having Zoom meeting. For instance, if I want to have this meeting every week, or I want to have it every day, because when we schedule our Christian entrepreneurship training, which is for 7 days, I click recording here because the meeting can either be daily or weekly or monthly or no fixed time. No fixed time means anytime I want to come on that meeting, I can always click start and I start. But if I want the meeting to happen daily, so there is essence of the recording. For the essence of clicking this recording aspect is so that you don't come, if that meeting is going to be every week, you don't come every week to schedule another meeting. Because if, let's say, your church Sunday service now on Zoom, so you click recording because you know that every Sunday people are going to be coming back on this platform. So all you need to do is maybe when you click that recording, let's say weekly, I click weekly, and then I say repeat once a week. When do I want it? Every Friday. Because why did it click Friday? Because the 38th of October is on a Friday. You see that I put 30/10/2020. So that's why it's pre-populating Friday for me. And I say weekly. So repeat once a week for how many days? So if I say repeat once a week, which means every Friday, people will come on this training, and I say end date. Okay, I say 11th of December, 2020. Or alternatively, I can say repeat after. So if I click after here, which means repeat after how many occurrences, I can say, well, 16 weeks. So I want this training to go on every week for 16 weeks. So after 16 weeks, I can come back on this platform and reschedule if I still want to continue. If I'm sure of the next 16 weeks, I can put it as that. So this essence of recording is if you are going to be having a meeting that will be continual. So, but if not, if that meeting is just going to be once, so you don't need to click recording, you just click out the recording. So it is no longer recurrent. So, but if it's going to be recurrent, then you click on. I hope you get that aspect of recording meetings, because it takes it helps you to save time. So you don't come back every week to schedule a meeting that you know will be occurring every week. So you can put it this way. So let me just click out. Then another aspect of scheduling a meeting is registration. So for instance, all of you on this platform today, before you joined this meeting, you registered. And some of you might be wondering, why do I have to register? I've seen some people send me a message this morning. Please, can you send us the meeting ID and the password? I said there is no meeting ID or password. Just go and register and you will receive a personalized message, email, confirmation email. So why do I choose this, or why did I make this meeting a pre-registered meeting? You know, so while I was scheduling this meeting, I clicked required. That is, registration is required because of security, because of so many things which I'm going to share with you. So, and it depends on the type of meeting you are having. For instance, if you're having a very large meeting and you know that, you want to have the information of everyone that attends the meeting, then it's very, very important that you secure your meeting by asking people to pre-register. And I'm going to take you through that registration very soon. So let's say registration required. All right, then the meeting ID. I have my personal meeting ID, which is this. But because I don't want my personal meeting ID, probably is for my inner circle of those that I train every day. All right, circle of those that I train every day. So I may not need to say generate automatically. I can just click this personal meeting ID. If this meeting is meant for people that I meet with every day. All right, just a moment, please. So I can just click on my personal meeting ID. But if I don't want people to use my personal meeting ID, then I click on this button, generate automatically. So generate automatically means it will generate an automatic meeting ID that is separate from my meeting ID, from my personal meeting ID. All right. So as soon as this meeting ends, the meeting ID stops working. So if tomorrow you hear that I'm conducting another training and you want to use that meeting ID I sent to you, which has been generated automatically, it will not work. It will not work. So that is the reason why, for security reasons, people click generate automatically, especially for meetings, like this. All right. So now let's look at security, meeting passcode. Meeting passcode. All right. So for your passcode, you may not put anything here. Let's say, so you can say, you can ask, the computer can generate, Zoom can generate its own passcode, but you also can have a passcode that you like. And your passcode can be a combination of, number and it can be numeric, or it can be, you can use alphabets. So for me, I decided to use domains. All right. Like if I'm having a special training, I may use domain 123. I may just put in domain 123, or I can put at domain. I can change my passcode if I'm using a personal meeting ID. For instance, if I'm using this. So you see where my cursor is pointing. If I'm using personal meeting, this is my constant meeting ID. All right. This is my constant meeting ID. So I can use my meeting ID. All right. So I'm just trying to see here. So let me click generate automatically. Then I put in my domain meeting and my meeting passcode. So that, let me just say domain 123. So that is so you don't have to use numbers. That is what I'm just saying. You can use a combination. Now, this area, waiting room, you need to click it. You need to click on it, waiting room. Why do we have waiting room? Some of you, when you came in today, you were at our reception. That's the waiting room. The waiting room is like, I would say, it's like the reception room, the reception area. If you are going into a board meeting and they put you at the reception to wait for the meeting to start. So this is an online, reception, an online reception. So waiting room. The reason why the waiting room is important is so that, so that people can be, you can vet who is coming in and who do you want on the meeting or not. So for instance, if I'm the chief executive of a company and I go into my reception, I see people waiting for me. If I don't want to admit them, I can just keep them there. So that is what this waiting room is for. So I will encourage you, anytime you want to schedule your meeting, please put this on, put the waiting room on. All right. Now to the next one, your video. Is scheduling your meeting. Remember, we are still on how to schedule your meeting. So you can decide whether you want your video to be on or off, or you want your participant video to be on or off. So you click on this at the beginning. So if I don't want your video to be on, I will click off. No matter what you do, you will not be able to put on your video because I don't want to see your face. But if I want to see your face, I put this on. Then you have the option of either opting out your video or not. Now, this one is important, audio. It's important that you click on telephone and computer audio, because when you schedule your meeting, Zoom will generate some numbers. Automatically, if you sign in zoom.us, what it will generate will be US numbers. It will generate US numbers. But I can decide to change my default telephone numbers to UK. If I believe that most of my meeting participants are coming from the UK. So you need to click this on so that your computer, if you join through your computer audio will be working, or telephone. I mean, if people are using using their phone, it will be working. So you click this on. So let me say, you see this button here that says dial from United States of America, because Zoom is a US-based company. So I'm going to edit this now. And I want to say, okay, I don't want people to dial from, USA. I want United Kingdom. Can you see? So in typing United Kingdom here, I will just click United Kingdom. Some of you, when you generate your meeting password, meeting ID, you see a long list of numbers. Chicago, Illinois, New York, and so on. And you are wondering, what does this mean? So you can decide to choose United Kingdom. So I can click out United States if I believe nobody is calling me from the United States. So I will just leave it at United Kingdom. So, and that is it. All right. I'm coming. So I will just click save here. I will click save here. So you see now that from here, dial from United Kingdom, it's already here. All right. Now another meeting options when you want to schedule your meeting is, do you want people to join before you join as the host? Some people love that. They don't mind it. They don't mind people joining before they join. So you can click on enable people join before you come in. If I want to mute participants upon entry, I click on this. There are some social meetings that when you come in, everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to greet each other. How are you? You so, and so forth. But if I don't want people to talk, for instance, I just want to deliver some training and then go off. There is no social interaction. If I click on this, you cannot unmute yourself. So I click this. All right. And thirdly, only authenticated users can join. You can choose this option if you want. The reason why sometimes it's good to choose this option that only authenticated users can join. This means that only those who are registered with Zoom can join your meeting. Why? Because they have their names. They are at least before you join Zoom. Zoom will ask for your date of birth. We ask for your name, your email address, and everything. All right. So if you say only authenticated users, that is those who are authenticated by Zoom, I am authenticated. If I join your meeting and you say only authenticated users can join, Zoom will take me through signing in before I join your meeting, which means anybody that is on your meeting is authenticated by Zoom. They have a Zoom account. There are many meetings that every Tom, Dick, and Harry joins, and then they come and disrupt your meeting. And there is no way you can report them to Zoom because you don't have their details. You don't know anything about them. But if you use only authenticated users can join, it serves as extra security for your program. So if you click on this, and also you can say breakout room pre-assign. You can, when I will take you through breakout room if time permits, because it's important if you're going to be using Zoom for training. So I will say breakout room pre-assign. I can pre-assign my breakout rooms, which means if in my meeting, if during the meeting, I want to put people into groups, to different groups to discuss. Like for instance, the training we're having next week, not training, our annual conference that we're having next week, when I ask people to fill the registration form, there is an aspect of breakout rooms there. That is, I say, because we are going to be having different breakout sessions. So I ask people to click the topic, the breakout session they want to join. That is the breakout room with that particular topic that they would like to join. I ask them to click on that. So with that, before the conference, I can pre-assign everyone into their breakout rooms. So when you come on the conference, you just go into that, you go into that breakout rooms. So I can pre-assign, all right? And I can also click on this, automatically record meeting, which means anytime I start my meeting, it should go straight into recording. So I can click on this. And if I don't want my meeting to be recorded, I leave all these things out. Do not forget. Do you want people to join your meeting? Maybe you don't want them to be waiting. You want them to join because you already know the type of people that will be coming. So you can click on this. If you want to mute participant upon entry, you click on this. Only authenticated users can join, which means only those that are registered on Zoom can join so that you can trace them if there's any problem. So you click on this. Breakout room pre-assign. So if you want to have breakout sessions, you click on this and automatically record meeting. So we are almost at the end of scheduling our meeting. Alternative host. If you want some people to be co-host with you, maybe you are not going to be the one that will host the meeting, so you can put their email address here, type their email address, so it automatically sends the information to them, and they know as soon as they come on the meeting, they are hosting the meeting with you. So you now click save. All right. So as I click save now, it takes you to this platform. So you see what we try to schedule the other time, manage Zoom. The title of the meeting is Zoom meeting. All right. You see the time here. You see the time here, October 30, 2020 at 7 p.m. So if I had clicked recurrence, remember the recurring meeting that we omitted. If I click recurrent, it will have given me the lowdown of all the dates. Here, under this calendar, it will have given me the lowdown of all the dates that the meeting will be reoccurring. And you see meeting ID has been automatically generated. All right? And see the passcode. And I say waiting room. So when you see this tick and that tick, it shows that your meeting is secured. That's where you see the security here. But if you have not put on the passcode and you have not enabled the waiting room, it will tell you, there will be an information here that will tell you that your meeting is not secured. As a matter of fact, starting from September, Zoom has made it compulsory for people to put in waiting room, so that anytime you're having your meeting, you can decide who comes on your meeting or not. So it secures your meeting. Now let's come to this. You see invite link. This is invitation to people. So you come to this section and says copy invitation. Copy invitation. It will take you here. So you see now all the information is here for me. You see, as I scroll down, if you don't want to copy all the numbers, the United Kingdom numbers, you can just copy this. You can just come from here, let's say here, and you copy up to here, meeting ID. All right? Even if I don't want the meeting ID there, let me click out. I can just say, Oludotun is inviting you, and I stop here. Because once people follow this link, it already contains the meeting ID and the password. But because of some people some people are still tied to meeting ID. Oh, I don't have the meeting ID. I don't have the passcode. So for that reason, they will be hounding you. Then it's better to copy it from here to here. So you copy from here to here. So whether they click on the link, they follow the link, or they enter their meeting ID and passcode, it will still take them to the meeting. But if, for instance, you have people that can dial in, then it's better you copy all the meeting information. So you don't need to highlight to click. You just click here, copy meeting invitation. So it highlights everything for you. Copy meeting invitation. So when you copy it, it's already copied onto your clipboard. So what you can do, what you have copied, you just open your email address. You open your email, your personal email, and use this as a message. Send it to yourself or send it to as many people that you want to invite onto the meeting. So it's very, very simple. So let me click cancel. All right. So this is the link for the meeting. Now we have what do you say? We have done our meeting schedule. All right. So let me go back and edit this meeting. For instance, if there are things you've left out on your meeting and you want to add, you can go back and click on this button, edit the meeting. So you can edit it. For instance, if you think the date and time is not correct, you can change it. If you think the meeting information is not correct, or you want to add some things, you can edit. Or you want to, you now think, oh, I want this meeting to be recording. So let's click on recording now and say weekly. Let's click weekly. And we say after 7 occurrences. After 7 occurrences. So this meeting will be occurring every week for 7 days. Now, what we didn't click before, let's click on required. Oh, I just discovered I want people to register for this meeting. I don't want it to be just an ordinary meeting. So you can say registration. And once you click required, it will give you these three types of information. Number one, it will ask you, attendees register once and can attend any of the occurrences. Or do you want attendees to register for each occurrence to attend? So which means, you're having 7 occurrences, 7 weeks. So do you want people to be registering each time they come on the training? So you click on this. Or you want attendees to register once and they can choose 1 or more occurrences to attend. So you're having 7 occurrences. And you now think, okay, I want people to register, but once they register, they can choose to come today and not come next week. Or they can choose to attend 3 out of the 7, because probably it's the same thing you will be teaching all over again. Maybe it's the same training you'll be repeating. So you can click on this. But if it's the same, if it's not the same training, if they are different, then you click number 1, which is attendees register once and can attend any of the occurrences. So you still see the passcode. Everything is still the same. I'm not changing anything. My dialing from United Kingdom, which I changed from US, is still the same. So maybe I want to say, okay, mute participants upon entry. Maybe I just think, I want to mute participant upon entry, so I click on this. And I also want to say, only authenticated users can join. So which means they must sign into Zoom before they join this meeting. So I can click on that, or I can say, no, I don't want to. So you have opportunity to edit your meeting. Then I click save, because I have edited the meeting. All right. So what happens now? This is our meeting. It has changed. It has changed. So you see that it is telling us every week on Friday, 7 occurrences. So if I want to show all the occurrences, I come here, I click show all the occurrences. And you will see on the 30th of October, a meeting on the 6th of November. So every Friday for 7 weeks, I put everything here because it's a recurrent meeting. All right. And let's say, for instance, I say, oh, this meeting, though it's going to be at 7 p.m. every week, but I want to have one Saturday morning. Some people might want to attend on Saturday morning. So what do? I come here, I click add another session. I click add another session. So which means I will just say on the 12th of October, let me just pick one of these days. So this is November 6th. This is November 6th. Let's say November 7th, Saturday, I want to have another meeting. So what do? I come back here, I click November 7th, which is Saturday. It wasn't part of my original occurrence, but I click on it and I say, okay, the training is going to be for 3 hours or 2 hours. And I say, no, it's not going to be a PM. It's going to be AM. So what time? I was okay. Let me put it at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is fine, like this meeting, 10 a.m. So I click save. You see now that my November, if I click save, all right, so it will give me my meeting for November 7th. So you see now it has added November 7th, which means once people register for this meeting, the meeting ID or the link, the confirmation email that is sent to them, the same link they use, I want you to take note of this, the same link they use to join the first meeting is the same link they will use to join the second meeting, the third meeting, the fourth meeting, even if they are coming for Saturday meeting, which I've just added. It is the same link they will use to join this. So they don't need to register again to register over and over again. Because I've seen that happen in some of our trainings, that people will register, And the training is for 7 days. And once they attend the first day, they start asking us, how do I come up the second day? How do I come in? And we tell them it's the same link you will use for as long as you've registered once. So even if the training is in the morning or in the evening, I have added several sessions to it. So definitely it is the same link you will use. All right. So we come back here. And this is our meeting. You know, I edited the meeting. That was what made me change certain things. Now let me take you through this registration quickly. Registration. All right. If you're meeting, if you have clicked on registration required, then you can customize your registration page, the form that you send to people to register for your meeting. You can customize it. And that is important, you know, because you see here, registration, email settings, branding, poll, live streaming. So in registration, let me see, you see something here. Can you please mute yourself, please? Thank you. So in coming here, you see manage attendees. Because it's a meeting I've just created, no one has registered because I've not sent it out for anybody to register. So registrants, this is where you monitor the people that register on your platform. So this is where you monitor the people that register on your platform. All right. So if you click here, view, click this view here, you will see that there is no one here to give you the name of registrants, email address, and registration date. No one is here because no one has registered for the meeting. So this, if you want to know the number of people that have registered for your meeting, this is where you click. You click here. And if you want to edit your form, the registration form you send to people, you come here, you click edit here. So edit will take you to this place. So you see registration questions, custom questions. So here you can say automatically approve, which means anybody that registers, you don't need to be manually approving them. As soon as they register, the confirmation email is automatically generated and sent to them. All right. So automatically approve. Or if I want to see who do I approve or who I don't want to approve, then I can say manually approve. But if you are conducting a training that many people will likely attend, if you click manually approve, then you would have to be checking your email, you know, to manually approve every attendee, which I would not advise. So that is why for me, I click automatically approve as long as I've put extra security measures in place. All right. So if I want Zoom to send me a notification anytime anyone registers, I click on this, send an email to me when anyone registers. But I don't want that. So that's why I will not click on, because I don't want my email inbox to be flooded with registrations. So, and then other options, I can say allow attendees to join from multiple devices. That is, you can join from your iPad, you can join from your phone, you can join from your laptop. So I click on this. If I want people to just join straight from their laptop, then I click out. So which means if you have your phone, you will not be able to join. All right. So then show social share buttons on registration page. I'm going to show you the registration page in a minute. So if people register and I want them to share it on social media, then I click on this so that when people register, they can share their registration on social media to say, okay, you know, everybody, you know, attend this training. All right. So let me go back to registration. So I come back to this edit. Remember, if you want to edit your question or your form, you come to edit here. So let me click on it. Now I have questions that people will automatically answer. When all of you, when you registered for this training, you all add your name. I ask for your name, your organization, maybe telephone number, and so on. So it depends on what you want to put on this registration form. So you can say, okay, from here you say required. So if you want people's address, click here and click here required. If you want their city, you know, you just pre-populate everything, the information you want from people, and you can come here and click questions and comments. Maybe you want them to, you know, comment or to ask questions. So you can come and click on that. Then custom questions. This is another interesting thing about Zoom, especially for those that you want to conduct a conference or a training session. So I normally put custom questions. You will see that some of you, take some aspects of the questions that I ask you. So if you click on custom question, you will come here, create your own question. You will say new question, all right? Your question, you type in your question here. Let's say, would you be happy for us to contact you in the future? So you now say, if you want a short answer, you leave it as it, but if you want a single answer, like you say yes, no, or maybe don't know. Let me just put that, don't know. Don't know. I don't know whether I want you to contact me or not. So you will click on this, create. So you see the question is added. So if I want as many questions as possible, I will just be clicking on new question and I will follow the pattern and I will click create. All right. So that is it. And I will say save all. Save all. You now see now I have done that. And let's see our question. If you now want to see your form, how your form looks like, how your form will go to every participant, then you come to the registration link here and click on this. Click on this. You see now, it will give them the information. All the social buttons are here. All the social media buttons are here. And then it gives them the information about the date and time of the meeting. And then they can pre-populate. This is my name now. Because I'm the owner of this, so it is pre-populating my name. Look at the question that I added. Would you be happy for us to contact you in the future? They can click and they can the drop-down menu. Yes, no, don't know. All right. And they register. And they register. All right. So that is for this aspect. All right. I'm just going to, for a minute, just so I'm going back to my our Zoom page. All right. So this is where you see the registration form. So now quickly, I will take us through settings. This is how to schedule your meeting. And I've told us the two types. You can schedule your meeting without registration, or you can schedule your meeting with registration. I don't know if I'll be able to go through branding today, branding your page. Let me just quickly in 1 minute do that. So your branding means when people come on your page, on your registration page, what do you want them to see? So you can upload your logo on that registration page, or you can upload the flyer, your conference flyer, your training flyer. So if you upload, remember this, remember all this. It doesn't just take any flyer. Your flyer has to be in certain specification, and I will leave that. If you don't know anything about specification of your flyer, I will encourage you to leave that with your media people or with those that, those that do your branding for you. So your flyer needs to be, you see, the dimension is suggested here. So the same thing with your logo. So if I send you our conference and exhibition page now, link to register, all these things are there. You will see our logo, you will see our conference flyer. So that is what branding is for. It's important. And if you want to live stream, you see live streaming. For me, I will take you through where you get the button to live stream. I have asked Zoom to do Facebook Live for me, Facebook Workplace, and YouTube. So I can click on any of this. All right. But let me quickly take you through this. Is very, very important. Settings, our settings. And this is what I find I found out that many people do not understand this area. They don't know that what happens on their Zoom platform on the day of the meeting is dependent on the settings they have enabled. So I want to take us through settings. So you see here, you will see security, schedule meeting, in-meeting basic, in-meeting advanced, email notification, and other. I will just take you through the most important aspects. So because not everything is applicable to everyone. It depends on how you want your meeting to look like. So, and I want to say to you, the settings you put in place here will affect all your meetings. So either you are having a meeting that is, you want people to pre-register, or you just want an ordinary meeting where you send meeting ID and password to people. The settings you have here, they configure your whole Zoom account. So how your Zoom account will look like. And this is where many people do not, I mean, this is what many people do not know. So let me quickly run through this. If, for instance, the first aspect, which is security, you see your waiting room. If you don't enable your waiting room, people will just be coming in on your platform anyhow. So sometimes you just find out that, you know, people just join. They join. Many people do not understand that waiting room is part of the security features of Zoom. So it's important that you enable. You come here. If you don't enable it, people will join your meetings anyhow they like. So it's important you come to settings. Remember, settings is on the left-hand side of your Zoom account, and you can only access your Zoom account on Zoom website. Don't go on your app. Your app, you will not have access to some of these security features. So it's important that you log into your Zoom account on your website, which is different from the Zoom app you have on your phone or on your devices, laptop. So if you log in, you will find the full settings here. So the settings, you see, enable the waiting room. Meeting passcode, enable it. That you want every meeting you conduct to have a passcode, all right? Even your personal meeting, you want it to have a passcode, all right? So require passcode for participants, even if they are joining by phone. If they're going to call in, require it, you enable it. If you disable it or you disable it, then people will join. Even on the phone, they will join. So you will find unwanted guests on your platform, all right? So even if people are going to invite, you've sent invitation link for one-click join, people, you need to enable this passcode so that people can join, all right? When we were scheduling the meeting, remember during the schedule the meeting, I told us about authenticated users. And I said, if you only want people who have been registered on Zoom, who have a Zoom account to join, then you click this button. When you click this button, which means anyone that does not have a Zoom account will not be able to join your meeting. And if you, as a person, wants to join another meeting, maybe you are invited to a meeting and you don't have a Zoom account, you are not registered on Zoom, if the meeting host has enabled only authenticated users to join, you will not be able to join that meeting. So you will not be able to join. So it's a security feature. One of the security features that is important if you want just those that are registered with Zoom, and that is Zoom have their details. So if they misbehave on your platform, you can report them to Zoom, because once you start recording your Zoom, you have everybody's information. So if anybody misbehave, you can report them. So you click on this button, and where do you find this button? All these buttons, it is here under settings, under security, on your Zoom website, your profile on Zoom website. So let me remove authenticated users, because once I click it here, it will affect all my meetings. Even if people are joining from the web, from the website, so you still want them to be authenticated, you click on this. All right. So I've told us about scheduling a meeting with participant video on, off, telephone and computer. I've shown. So join before host. I've told us about that. Enable meeting ID, personal ID, and so on. There is another aspect. You can click here, mute participants upon entry, or upcoming meeting reminder. If you want your desktop to be reminding you that the meeting is coming or upcoming, you click on this. All right. So now what about the basic things when you are online, when you start the meeting? All right. So let me give you some quick ones. Chat. Your chat, you enable chat if you want people to be chatting. For instance, if I don't want you to chat on this program, I would have disabled the meeting chat. So you come here, you will not see anything like chat. And I can say prevent participants from saving chat. So I've already enabled this because I don't want people to save other people's information. For instance, if I ask us to put in our telephone numbers because of so many things, maybe we want to inform you about things we do in the future. So I will have to click on this because I want to preserve your personal information. So I will say prevent other people on the platform from saving this chat because I don't want people's information to get into the wrong hands. So I have to click this security feature here. So private chat, which means if we're on this platform, we can send private messages to each other. But if I don't want that, if I don't want my participant to privately message one another, then I disable this. I will say no, there is no private chat. But I enabled it because, you know, Reverend Constance might want to greet Mommy May, and she might not want to put that on the general platform. So she might just want to say, Mommy, how are you? So I enabled this. But if I disabled it, she will not be able to do that. All right. So now let's see, file transfer, which means when we are having the meeting, let's say I want to send a form for you to fill. I can, if I enable this, then I'll be able to send the form. I'll be able to send the link to you to fill the form, and you can follow the link on the chat and then fill the form. All right, that is what that one is for. Feedback to Zoom. Anytime you finish your meeting, you always see that Zoom will ask you, how was your meeting? And you say, okay, fine. And if anybody troubled you, you can give that feedback to Zoom. Another area that many people do not understand in this secure, in additional features or e-meeting control is co-host. It's not good enough if you are the only host in your meeting. It's not good enough. All right. So, and many people have this problem. They will say, how can I don't know how to, I'm the only host. How do I ask another person to co-host with me? It's because this button is not enabled. So if this button is disabled, you will not be able to assign anybody to co-host with you. So you go to your security and to your meeting features here. Remember settings. You come here to settings and then you scroll down and enable all the buttons that you want to see function when your meeting is in progress. All right. So you say co-host. So if you click on this, I can make as many of you on this platform my co-host. Polling. If this, sometimes you use it, sometimes you don't use it. If I want to type something, I want everybody to see it at the same time, I use poll. All right. Meeting control toolbar. Underneath my meetings, I can see all my meeting control toolbar. So I enabled it because I want to see. So then in terms of screen sharing, this is another important security feature. Many people, when they're having trainings or conferences, you find all these hijackers coming, you know, either because they've not enabled authenticated users on their settings on the Zoom website. They've not enabled that, or they've not enabled waiting room, or maybe the people that are co-hosting with them are just admitting every Tom, Dick, and Harry onto the platform. All right. So let's say all these things happen, and you now find people who come on your platform to hijack your meeting for one reason or the other. If you have enabled all participants to share, please look at this very well. If you say who can share and you enabled all participants, then anybody can share on your platform. Anybody can share on your platform. So which means they can come with all sort of rubbish and start to share. Even it might not even be rubbish. You know, some people, even genuine, would I say they're genuinely wrong? They are just playing with the meeting controls and they just suddenly click on screen sharing. And as they click on it, they are just experimenting, and you just see them suddenly sharing. Some people will share their picture because they are just excited and they're sharing. So they may not even mean any harm, but because you have enabled all participants to share on your platform, then any Tom, Dick, and Harry will share. And so it can be malicious, or it can be, you know, it can just be, what would I say, without malice, without prejudice. So you need to, if you want all participants to share, if you want your meeting to be free for all, then you click on this. But if you don't want your meeting to be free for all, then you click host only. That is, I'm the only one that can share. If I want, let's say I'm now conducting a conference and I want some people to share on the platform, all I can do is that because I have enabled co-host, when it's time for them to share, I make them a co-host, because a co-host can share. A co-host has limited access to some of the meeting control, but a co-host can record, a co-host can share. So I only give that opportunity to those that I have invited to come and share. So when I'm doing this, I click on host only can share, and then anybody that wants to share, I give them the permission to share. So that is one of the key things we also need to be very, very important with, to be conversant with. Then annotation. Some of you can see this, my red button. You see how it is moving. So because I'm teaching and I want you, because it's like a workshop, I want to be able to, point certain things to you, out to you. And I don't want to use, the mouse cursor, which might not be very, very visible. I want something that is very visible. Then I click on annotation. So annotation means, the annotation button, when I start sharing, the annotation button shows on my screen. Then I click on anything that I want to do with the annotation button. All right. So it is from there that I pick this red button. You can experiment with it. But if you don't enable it here, you will not be able to use your annotation, when you are teaching, or you are, let's say, for instance, you are reading. Let's say you are teaching children and you want to read some aspect, you want them to follow, you want your audience to follow you, then you use this annotation button. All right. So I said allow saving of share screens with annotation. Only the user who is sharing can annotate. So I'm the only one that can annotate. So you cannot annotate. Even under annotation, you see people who can type. We can do all sorts of things. I just encourage you to explore that. What about whiteboard? This is another problem. When you enable screen sharing and you say anybody can screen share, they can share rubbish, and if your whiteboard is enabled, they can hijack your whiteboard. I will show you the whiteboard very soon. They can hijack your whiteboard and begin to write jargons. You just see that suddenly you are presenting. You see some hands writing jargons on your face, right? So if you have enabled your whiteboard to work, then you must disable it. Anybody can share. You see, who can share? You must disable it. Make sure that it is only you that can share. I hope you are getting all these things. It's very broad. I never even thought I would spend as much as this on this, but it's important that we understand all this security control when we are using our. So I can use remote control, non-verbal feedback, meeting reactions. These are also important things. If I want people to give me thumbs up, I want people to say, to raise up their hand. This is what you call meeting reactions. This button allows participants, removed participants to rejoin. If I remove participants, if I want them to rejoin, maybe I removed them by mistake and I want them to rejoin, I click on this. But if I don't want them to rejoin, remember, sometimes you see some people who will disturb your meetings. And as you remove them, they are rejoining. And you remove them, they are rejoining. It will be difficult for co-hosts to do this if you have not, if you have enabled this button. But if you have disabled it, once you remove a participant, they cannot rejoin again. All right? Allow participants to rename themselves. That is also important. So it's important that participants give themselves names that you can see. All right? So all these things, report to Zoom. That's why I said if you use authenticated users, it's easy for you to report them to Zoom, that this person came on my meeting and disrupted my meeting. All right? Now quickly to breakout rooms. You need to enable this button. If you want, maybe during your program, you will be breaking people into breakout rooms, into sessions, maybe master classes. Then you need to enable this. If you don't enable it, you will not be able to do the breakout room because the button will not show on your meeting controls. So allow us to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling. So when I'm scheduling meetings, I've shown you the aspect of breakout rooms. So you can click on pre-assign breakout participants, pre-assign participants to breakout rooms. All right. So all these features. Now, the one that is also important is virtual background. Virtual background. Some of you that have been on my training, you will know that I love my backgrounds. I love different designs on my background. But as God will have it today, my MacBook just stopped working 2 days ago. So I cannot use my normal FEC, all the things I normally put on my background. I couldn't use, for today because my MacBook stopped working and is going for repairs. So I'm using an ordinary laptop. And the reason why I cannot use, I can use it, but it will be distorting my image. It will not be that effective because my processor is iCore 3. Some of you might wonder what is that. So if the computer you are using is less than iCore 5, the processor is less than iCore 5. If you use background, it will not be clear. It will not be clean. No, it will not be crisp. So it will be interfering with your image, unless you have, a green background. You have a green background, which is you have to set up a green cover at your back before you use, your virtual background. But virtual background is important so that it can block out any background images. Probably you can be in your room and be presenting, but in your room, and you have so many things in your room, with virtual background, you block out every existing image. But if your system is less than iCore 5 processor, if this processor there is less than iCore 5, then if you use virtual background, you will just see that sometimes it goes off, it comes out. You will see your hand going like this. You will see certain things popping behind you. So it is very, very important that you understand. So later in the future, I know some people have asked me, how do you create all these virtual backgrounds? How do you ensure that you have, that is another training that I would I would do in the nearest future about virtual background. But for the purpose of this training, just simple things that we need to do, with all these areas. All those ones are not important. So let me just say, show a join from browser link. That is, if you want people to join from their website, if they don't have Zoom account, then you can click on this. All right. Now, another important area is live streaming. Many churches, when they do their Zoom meetings, they want to live stream straight from their Zoom meeting to YouTube or to Facebook. If this area is not enabled, you will just find out that you will not be able to live stream. So we need to come back to our settings on the Zoom website, log into your account, go to settings and enable live streaming. Enable live streaming. So you'll be able to live stream onto Facebook, YouTube, and so on and so forth. Request permission to unmute. If I select this, all right, which means that everyone will be muted. I would have to ask them permission to unmute. All right. So recordings are another thing which is important. So you can record on iCloud or you can record on your computer. But if I'm recording, I can say, well, I want to send a copy of my recording to everyone that attends this training, or I want to send a copy to host. So I can enable that. So all this, when attendees join before host, let me know. So let me know if some people are joining before I come in. When a meeting is canceled, all these things you can just explore. I will just encourage you, go to your website, to your Zoom website. All right, go there and explore all these buttons. They will help you to manage your Zoom very well, because you just find out that there's some things you cannot do on your Zoom because on the settings you have not enabled certain areas to work. And like I said before, some of these are limited on your Zoom app. For instance, when you download your Zoom app on your computer, on your phone, some of these settings are not available. And some of these settings also are not available if you are just a free user of Zoom. So that's another thing we need to understand. If you are just a free user of Zoom, so you don't pay, you are not a pay monthly user, pay yearly user, you are just using the account for 40 minutes, there are certain things that you are not permitted. You will be restricted to do. So some of these buttons will not work. Some of these buttons will not work. So it means if you just want to use your Zoom just for meetings, you are not doing trainings, no conference, no seminar, nothing. It's just for maybe Bible study or just some simple, meetings. Then you can do your 40 minutes free sign up. But if you want advanced features on your Zoom, I think Zoom should be paying me for this. All right. So you need to sign up to Zoom. But so recording, this is your recording. You can say, sometimes you will say, you know, people will want to record, and the pop-up button will say, ask the host to give you permission to record. If you want everybody to record, this is where you come to. If you don't want everybody to record, so you have to configure this area of recording. And so you see meetings, recording, telephone. So here in recording, hosts can give participants the permission to record locally. All right. So we need permission. If I don't click on this, it means if I enable this, but I don't click on this, anybody will be able to record. All right. Anyone can record. But if I click on this, it means before you record, I would have to give you permission to record. All right. So everything that can be recorded, I have ticked them here because this is my personal file. So what I want to be recorded, I've clicked here. So if I don't want to be automatic recording, I didn't enable that because sometimes I start a meeting and we might still be chitty-chatting. I don't want that to be recorded from the beginning. So I haven't enabled automatic recording. So when I want to start recording, I know when I want to start recording. So, but if you want your meeting to be automatically recorded from the beginning, then you enable this button. All right. So, your iCloud recording. If you are an authenticated user of Zoom and you are registered, that is, you pay for your Zoom, you will have a limited iCloud storage, which you can share with people. After you can just share the link with everyone. All right. But if your iCloud is limited and you keep recording there, for instance, if you have training of 3 hours, 4 hours, you might not be able to share with everyone with iCloud. So alternatively, you record on your computer. You record on your computer. So I want you to explore this aspect. So it's important you explore your Zoom to see what works and what doesn't work. All right. So this issue of webinars, some of you might see meetings, webinars. Webinars are slightly different from meetings. Webinars allow you to have, 500, 1,000, 10,000 participants. But when they come in, their videos don't show. So it is only you that will be showing because you are just delivering a training to them. So webinars are not like meetings where you can sit down and be gisting and be greeting each other. No. Webinars is for bigger platforms. And if you want to move, let's say you want to organize a very big event, you can quickly register and pay for webinar for that aspect, for that event only. And once that event ends, then you remove the webinar and continue with your normal meeting stuff. So, and then when you finish, you sign out. If you want to sign out of your account, you come here. You can see my profile picture here. You come here, it says I'm licensed. So you see, and it says sign out. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now. Thank you all. And I will quickly just go to in-meeting controls. So I'm going to share another screen with you just for in-meeting controls. All right, quickly. So because some of you might be wondering, okay, some of you might be wondering, okay, I'm on my platform, but how do I use all the buttons on the platform? How do I use all the in-meeting controls? So that is just the reason why I'm going to be sharing this with you. All right. So you start from here. I'm sharing my screen. Start from the beginning. All right. So how to use Zoom. So I'm going to be sharing some in-meeting controls. So meeting controls, inviting participants. If you look at your top left-hand corner, where you find Zoom meeting on your laptop, you will see this icon there. You see this icon and you see this green icon. So here, if you click on this, it will give you this information. It will give you this information. So you can see Oludotun Ologunebi's personal meeting room. This is my meeting ID. This is me. This is me. This is me. So why do you need to click on this? When do you use this? When your meeting is already in session. So you're already conducting the meeting, and then you now suddenly remember, oh, I didn't invite someone. I didn't invite so and so person. So you can quickly come here. Nobody will see you are still talking, but nobody will see what you're doing. You come here, you click on this button. Where is it on your laptop? Check your laptop right now. It's on the top left hand corner. You see it with this green button. So when you click on this, it will give you this information. What do? You go to copy link. All right, you see this copy link. It will give you this information. You click on this copy link. You see the link here, and you quickly send it to the email address of whoever you want to invite to join the meeting. All right, so this is what this one is for, this image. So it's to invite participants. All right, let's move on. Now you see these meeting control buttons. If you check your laptop right now, or if you're using your mobile device, you will always see some in-meeting controls. Why do I have all this? Remember when I took you on the Zoom platform, on the Zoom website, and I asked you to go on your profile, these are the buttons I have enabled. Some of the buttons I have enabled. If I did not enable breakout rooms, it will not show here. If I did not enable reactions, that is, people should give me thumbs up, or they should clap, or should raise their hand, or they should give me love. You know, I have so many buttons that you can use. So if I did not enable, you will not find anything here. All right. So including chat, including share screen. All right. Including security. This security aspect has just been added after Zoom encountered problems with people badging in on Zoom meetings, you know, and they now ask every authenticated user, you know, to enable this button. So this button was automatically added security. So you find from here on your screen right now, you will find mute. This is where you mute yourself, because we keep saying mute yourself, mute yourself. And you know, when some people come in, they unmute themselves. So this is where you mute yourself. If you click on this button, it will give you red. But because I've clicked out of it, that is why you don't find a red arrow across it. So you just find ordinary mute. Then stop video. If I don't want you to see my video, I click on this and then my video goes off. That is stop video. And if you want to do your virtual background, if you want to add virtual background, that you remember virtual background, what covers your video and makes your background so beautiful. And you know, if not for my MacBook, I could have shown you several backgrounds this morning. You know, I could just travel to the Caribbean. You will just see me at the beach, or you can see me in a very fine hotel, and you wonder, hey, this lady is enjoying. You know, these are all the features that Zoom has put in place for us. So if you want to change, you want to do your Zoom virtual background, this is where you click. I will take you there very shortly. So your security participants, if you want to know how many people are in your meeting, you check the participants here. All right. Polls are generating feedback and information. So I'm going to take you through all these buttons in a while. All right. So let's start with participants, chat and participants. You remember where our participants are here. If you click on this, it will take you here. So you will see, when I did this, I was the only participant. So if you will see a list of participants here, and if you want to unmute them or mute them, maybe you find some people that are disturbing and you are wondering, your platform is big, but where do you see the people that are disturbing the meeting? You are scrolling from page to page, looking at people's video, and you can't see the one that is disturbing. Don't disturb yourself. Just click on the participants and it will give you the list of everyone there, and you will see this button. You can see that this button is moving up and down. You will see this button here moving, because that is the mute button. So whoever, you know, if you see any button that is not in red, it means that person is the one talking. So you can just click on it and then you will mute. Alternatively, all right, alternatively, if you want to mute everybody, you come here, mute all, and then everyone is muted. Everyone is muted. All right. So if you want to invite another participant to join, you click on this invite button. Remember when I asked you to copy the link, in control meeting link, and you want to quickly invite someone, it is where you come to. You click on this invite and then you send the link. Lo and behold, everything goes to them. All right. So These are other buttons under participants. You can say go slower, go faster, you know. Yes, if I say, did you understand me? You can click on yes instead of talking. All right. So, and then chat, which is the other one I've put here. Chat. So, to some of us, when we want to chat, what do? We don't understand here, this button here, where it says everyone. So, if you want to chat to everyone, you click everyone, and then you come to your chat at the bottom and type whatever you want to chat. But let's say the trainer is asking a question and you want to send the information privately to the trainer. You click here and you click at the name of the trainer and you send private message. But some of us, when we want to send a private message, a public message, maybe a general answer that everybody ought to see, we don't remember to come here to click everyone. We just type, and unfortunately, your message will land in the private chat box of another person. And the person will be wondering, was this message meant for me or for another person? So we need to understand this area. All right. So if you want, make sure before you do your chatting, check whether you have enabled everyone or you are sending a private message. All right. Now, video control. Video control. You see, I showed us under the control buttons, I showed us where the video is. So if I want to stop video, I just click on this icon and then my video will stop showing. So there will be a slash, a dash across it, a line across it. It shows that my video is not showing. So sometimes some people come on the meeting and they are wondering, I can't see myself. I cannot see myself. I can't see my video showing. It is because you have not come here to see whether your video is enabled or disabled. So if you are on your phone, on your laptop, and you want to see whether your video is showing or not, you come here. So if there is a line across this place, a line across, then it means your video is not showing. If there's no line across, your video will be showing. The same thing with muting and unmuting. All right. Now to some video settings. Remember I said virtual background. Virtual background. So this is where you get your virtual background. Your virtual background, when you start your meeting, you come here under stop video. You see this up arrow and you click on it, it will give you this information. So select your camera, which is your phone camera or your laptop camera. Then it shows choose virtual background. If you click on choose virtual background, all right, it will take you here. I'm going to show you something quickly. See, if you click on choose virtual background, it will bring you to this place. So, and here you will see all the, you see this one says none. And this means I don't want virtual background. This one will give you all the virtual background. You can see I have put here several videos and pictures that I use as my virtual background. If I scroll down, I just took this one for you to just see. If I scroll down here, you will see loads and loads of, you know, pictures and videos that I have stored here as my virtual background. So if you want to choose any virtual background, you click on this or this, because Zoom already has some virtual backgrounds. But if you want to customize your own, or you want to choose a different virtual background to Zoom's, then you click this button. I hope all of you can see this plus sign here. You click this button, this plus sign. When you click on it, it will give you an information that says add image or add video. Add image or add video. And like I told you initially, your virtual background will not work. Videos will not work. Pictures will not work if your system, the processor in your system is less than 1.5. All right. So I call 5. Yes, I call 5. If it's less than I call 5, it will not show, because some of you might have been struggling with this and saying my virtual background is not showing. But if you use a MacBook, I mean the most recent MacBook, or even MacBook of 3-4 years ago, I mean, you are good to go. It can show videos, show anything. All right. So that is for this. Let me go back to meeting controls. All right. So I've just finished virtual background. Now, another meeting control which is very, very important, all right, is this security. You know, when I showed you the in-meeting controls at the bottom, you know, you see participants, you see video, you see polls, and so on and so forth. So this security is important when you are already in your meeting. When you're already in your meeting and you want to enable, you want to put certain security measures in place. For instance, if you see that the chat is not going the way you want it, maybe people are just posting rubbish or things, you can disable your chat here. You come under security here and you disable it. When you disable it, there will be no more chatting. Nobody can chat again. The same thing with, you can ask participants if you want to rename themselves, you can click this button. If you want them to unmute themselves, let's say I don't want you to unmute yourself, I will just click this, I will click out this button and you will not be able to unmute unless I give you permission to unmute yourself. So these are in-meeting control, security that help you, you know. And the same thing, maybe you have not enabled waiting room before and you quickly want to enable waiting room. You can click on this and you will see that, remember, this one is when the meeting is in progress. You have not done certain things on your Zoom profile, on your website, and you quickly want to put these features in place. You come to security here, you can quickly do some things here. So the same thing with share screen. You see that share screen is not enabled because I am not allowing every participant to share. So if I suddenly click on this, anybody can share on this platform. And if I want to disable share screen, I come to this security and I quickly disabled share screen. So which means nobody except the host will be permitted to share the screen. All right. Another thing is lock meeting. That's another security feature. As soon as everybody you want on your platform is on, you do what? You can lock your meeting. You can lock your meeting, which means whoever is removed cannot come in, or whoever hasn't come in before a so time will not be permitted to enter. Let's say I can see that some people are still joining us on this meeting, the meeting that we started at 10 a.m. So if I wanted to lock the meeting at 10:30, I would have locked it. So nobody will be able to join the meeting. So this is where this security feature is very, very important. So, or let's say to some leaders here, if you want to punish, don't let me say punish, if you want to discipline your members, those who are always late to meetings, all right? Those who are always late to meetings, and you want to discipline them, you set the meeting at 10 o'clock and you give them 10 minutes grace. All right? You give them 10 minutes grace. So as soon as the meeting starts and you look at your time, it is 10 minutes past 10, then you come here and click lock meeting. They will not be able to join. So they will not tell you, I was in the meeting when they were not. So these are security features that you can use, you know, the way you like. So you can lock your meeting, enable waiting room, and so on and so forth. All right. So now to screen sharing. When you enable, let me go back a little bit. You see, this is where you click to share your screen. If you want to share your screen, this is the meeting control button you click to share your screen. But now to get into your meeting itself, to share the screen, because sharing screen might be maybe you want to do presentation or you want to share videos and music and so on and so forth. So this is the button you click. Now when you click this button, it takes you here. It brings you, I'm coming. It brings you here. When you click on that share screen, it brings you here. So, and like I told us earlier on, for you to share your screen, there are all these things must be enabled. You see that if you remember on my Zoom website, I enabled whiteboard. So if I want to teach you and I want to be typing, I want to be writing, I want to be drawing, I can just click on whiteboard and then I come to this button here that says share. I hope you can see the button because you will always see it. You will see share. So I click share, it takes you straight to the whiteboard. And I can be drawing, I can be typing. It depends on what you want to use your Zoom meeting to do. So you can do anything on your, it's like you are in a physical class and you're writing, you are drawing. So this is your whiteboard. All right. So what I'm saying is, to share your screen, make sure that everything you want to share is opened at the background. You already opened them on your desktop, so that as soon as you click the share button, it will give you all the things that are on your share buttons. Can you see? So you just click on this, like I'm clicking on this screen, and then I come here, I click share. It will go straight to share my screen. And when I share my screen, this is what it looks like. So on my screen, I will see all these buttons. All these buttons. I will see, I'm, as the host, I'm still able to mute people. I'm still able to stop video. I'm still able to manage my security features. Remember the security, where I can lock people out. I can put people in a waiting room. I can stop sharing. I can do all sorts of things. So I will click, I can still manage all the things I could do while I'm sharing my screen. That is for the host, not for any other participant that is allowed to share. So as the host, I can still control my meetings. All right. Now, some of you see, you can see this button here. You see that this button normally, this button normally covers the background of what you want to share. Sometimes this is my Microsoft Word, but underneath this button, you will see insert design, layout, format, and all those things, which these buttons are covering. What do I do if I want to remove these buttons? Then I come to this button here that says more. I says more. All right. Before I go to more, let me talk about annotate. Remember annotating. Why my button is moving, you cannot see this red button moving. That is where you get the red button from. Annotate. If you click on annotate, it will give you some sub buttons, and you can click. If you want to click arrow, you can pick arrow, whatever you want to pick. But I decided to pick this little red button so that at least it is visible. It is visible for all to see. So annotate. All right. I can pause my share. If I don't want to continue, I can pause because I want to share another thing. I can click on new share as I'm sharing this now, and I want to share another thing. You don't have to see me. You just see that something else is showing on your screen. So I can click on new share. All right. So I can still do all sorts of things even while I'm sharing. Now let me see if these buttons are disturbing you. What do? Let's go to the next slide. You click on that more. Remember, I asked you to click on more here, more. These three buttons here, click on more. It will bring you here. So you will see all the buttons. So you click on this, hide floating meeting controls. If you don't want to be seeing those meeting controls, you click here, hide them. So when you click hide meeting floating controls, it will remove those buttons, and you'll be able to see all your toolbars, on your system. All right. And if you want to restore, the meeting controls, then you just click escape on your computer, escape button, where you find your other buttons beside 1, 2, 3, beside the numeric aspect of your keyboard. Just click escape. It will bring back the buttons to you. So under this more, you can do all sorts of things. All your buttons are still here, and you can do anything there. All right. So I've taken you through this. Now to breakout rooms quickly, because of our time. Let me take you back to where you will get breakout rooms. All right. You see here, breakout rooms. You see all the rooms here. All right. So they are, if you have not enabled, don't forget, all these buttons are there because I enabled them on my settings, on my profile. All right. So to get to your breakout rooms, you click here. When you click here, it gives you this. Let me show you what it gives you. All right. It brings you here. So it says to you, assign participant. The reason why it says assign 0 participants is because when I was doing this, I was the only one on my laptop. But it will show you the number of participants you have. And if let's say you have 40 participants, if you have 40 participants, it can tell you, if you say assign automatically, it means when you click on this, when you say assign automatically, it will tell you how many numbers of participants that will go into every room. So this is good, not just for training. For instance, you are conducting Bible study and you want people to go into different rooms to discuss some points of, some different subtopics. and you want them to discuss and come back to discuss, to give you presentation of what they've discussed. So you can put them in different rooms. So breakout rooms is very, very important if you want to have sub-meetings under a big meeting, sub-meetings under a big meeting. You use breakout rooms. So when you click on create rooms, like I said before, your participants will show here. And then if you click automatically, it can tell you that maybe it is going to give you 4 or 5 rooms, depending on the size. Or you can say, no, I want to assign manually because I want to look at the participants and see who goes into which room, who do I assign to them as their coordinator. So you want to have control over who to assign. Then you click manually. You click manually. So either you click manually or automatically. Automatically means you want Zoom to help you assign everybody to any room. That is automatically. But manually means you want to yourself assign people to rooms. Then you now click create rooms. You click create rooms. So when you click create rooms, what it gives you is this. This is what will come up on your computer. So it will give you breakout room 1. Remember, because when I was creating this, I was the only participant. Let's say if I've clicked here that it should give me 4 rooms. Let's say when I click manually, then if I click manually, I'm going to come here and click how many rooms I want to create. So I have control. I can say 4 rooms. I can say 3 rooms. I can say, 2 rooms, depending on the number of people that are on my training. So when I click this, then it takes me here. It brings me, so you will see this window that says breakout room. So if I've clicked 4, if I say it should give me 4 rooms, you will see breakout room 1, breakout room 2, breakout room 3, breakout room 4. All right, it will give me all these rooms. Let's say when I've created 4 rooms, I see that 4 rooms are not enough. What do? I come here, I say add a room. I click on add a room, it will give me an extra room. All right, so when I do this, breakout room 1, let's say when I'm looking at it, I see that I don't want to call them breakout room 1. I want to call them entrepreneurship room. And I want to call another room ministers room. I want to call another room career room. All right. I want to call another room mothers room. Then I click on this. You see, I click on this button. All right. I can rename the breakout room and give them the name that I want. So once I have, and now for me to now assign participants, I come here to this button here that says assign. You will see this one, assign. Once you click this assign, it will give you the names of all the participants on your system, on your meeting. And then you will now be clicking their names one by one. All the people that you want to go to breakout room 1, just click their names. And then you come out to breakout room 2. Remember, this is just one breakout room. So you can see 2. If you see 2, you come back, it will give you another assign here. You click on the assign. The remaining people that are not yet assigned, it will list out their names. So you click their names one by one and assign them till everyone is assigned. And then what do? You now come here. So this last button here, I hope it is visible. It says open all rooms. So once you click on this, all the rooms will be opened, and then a message will be sent to all the participants. In that message, you will see join a breakout room. So the participant will just follow the link and they will find themselves in a room. They will leave the platform and find themselves in the room assigned to them. And once the breakout room is finished, maybe you give them 30 minutes. Don't close your breakout window. So because once you assign, it will give you another option. Instead of open all rooms, it will give you close all rooms. So you just close. Once you close, all of them will find themselves back on the platform. That's how breakout rooms work. All right. I think these are just the simple. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. These are just the simpler ways of using Zoom. I hope that for today I have been able to take you through some key areas of how to use Zoom. All right, of how to use Zoom. So I don't know if you have any question. Maybe let me just quickly go through the chat and see if there are questions here. All right. Can someone join a Zoom meeting when they have not signed into Zoom? And that's the first question. And I don't know if that question, if you've been able to get the answer from the from everything I've said. All right. You can join into Zoom if you have not signed in onto Zoom. If the host has enabled join from a web link browser on their settings. Remember when I took you through the settings, you will see under the settings on as the host, if you don't want people to join your meeting, if they have not signed into Zoom, then you enable authenticated users only. If you enable that, if people have not signed into Zoom, or if they don't sign into Zoom, they cannot join your meeting. So you can secure your meeting with that. But if you want people who do not have a Zoom account to join your meeting, you either give them your meeting password, and then in your settings, you disabled only authenticated users can join. You disable that. If you disable that, anybody can join. Anybody can join your meeting. All right. So I'm still going to just scroll through here. Can we configure after I have installed? Yes, I think this question has been answered. Yes, like I told you, your buttons, your meeting in meeting control buttons, you can see the security there. So there are some areas that you can see configure, but something like live streaming, you cannot configure that while the meeting has started. You need to enable the button on your settings, on your Zoom profile, your website. You need to enable that. So if you have not enabled live streaming, it cannot. You will not be able to, you'll not be able to, including share screen. You cannot come on the platform and start saying, oh, I've started the meeting, and I remember I want to share screen. You cannot configure that while the meeting is going on. You need to configure that you need to preload that. You need to have enabled it so that it will show on your screen. So there are it's only security features. Security, that's where you find that you can maneuver when the meeting has started. But some key features of Zoom, you need to enable the buttons. Like, for instance, you want somebody to co-host with you. You cannot come on the platform and remember, hey, I need someone to co-host with me, and you now think you can make anybody your co-host. It will not work. Nobody will co-host with you unless you enable the co-host button on your Zoom profile. All right. So for you to co-host, there's no extra charge. All right. I've seen a question here says, is there an extra charge for Zoom to co-host? No, there is no extra charge. So if you register, let's say you're on the minimum payment platform, which is £11.99 a month. But if you pay per year, it's like it comes to $9.99 per year. If you pay per year, it's like $9.99. But if you want to do pay monthly, then it's $11.99. So there is no extra fee for you to do all these things. The only difference is that if you want to move to the business or the bigger enterprise pricing plan, it means maybe you want to have a big conference, or maybe you are a big organization and you are going to be assigning your employees. Many employees, you want them to host meetings at different levels, So because for me now, I'm the only host for this meeting. All right. It's 12 o'clock. It's telling me it's 12. So I'm the only host for this meeting, but I can ask as many people as possible to co-host with me. But if and as I'm on this meeting, nobody can use my profile, my meeting ID to start another meeting as the host. No, because I'm the only host. I can ask people to co-host. But if I want, let's say as an organization, Domit is an organization. If you are going to be having several meetings at the same time, let's say I'm conducting a training and one of our faculty members is also conducting a training, we can go to the enterprise pricing plan so that we can have different hosts from the same organization, but different meetings going on under our Zoom platform. I hope that you understand that, But if you have your normal Zoom account, it doesn't cost anything, no extra to add co-host onto your Zoom platform. It's free. All right. So how can I play music from YouTube to Zoom when the platform is open while waiting? You share your screen. All right. You go through screen sharing. Remember, your whatever you want to share must be opened on your desktop. So your YouTube must be opened. The music, what you want to play must be opened. You just pause it. So when you come to screen share, when you click screen share, it will take you through what you have opened, and you just say share. Once you say share, remember to click share computer sound. Because if you don't click share computer sound, if you share YouTube video, it will just be playing. People will be saying their lips, but they will not hear any sound. So you go through screen sharing to be able to share your music through your music video through Zoom. All right. I'm trying to look at, because there's so many questions here, I'm trying to look at which one. Yes, if you want to co-host, what do? You see, you go to, if you want somebody to co-host with you, go to the person's video. Like for instance, I can see several videos here. So go to the person's video, and once you put your cursor on this person's video, you can see the person's video, or the person has already joined your platform, and you can see them, either their video or their name. Go to them. When you put your cursor on that person's video or maybe the name, you will see two buttons. There is one they call mute, where you can mute, and there are also 3 buttons by the side of mute. If you click on that 3 buttons, all right, if you click on those 3 buttons, you will see certain things will come up. Certain information will come up. You will see make a co-host or make co-host. So you click on that. If you click make co-host, then the computer will ask you, do you want to make so-so and so-so person a co-host? You will click yes. And then the person will receive an invitation to be a co-host. That's it. The person just becomes the co-host. So go to the person's name or video as it appears on your meeting screen, and click on, just take your cursor to that person. As you point your cursor on it, it will show you mute, and then 3 buttons. Click on the 3 buttons. It will give you a drop-down menu. Under the drop-down menu, click the one that says make co-host. That's how you make someone co-host. All right. And all these features are available for a Pro Zoom account. So yes, every feature is available for Pro Zoom account. I'm so sorry, there are so many questions here. I don't know. Also, can you talk and praise worship on Zoom? Yes, you can praise and worship on Zoom. I was informed that doing it live is not good on Zoom. That it's better to record and then play it. How can this be done, please? Let me tell you, you can do whatever you like on Zoom. It just depends on who is managing, your media team, who is managing. And if you have a strong internet, you must ensure that, for you to conduct so many things on Zoom, don't go with all this internet that will fail you. For instance, you want to share YouTube video, and before people join your meeting, you want them to be, for some of you that joined this meeting, you joined early, you will see that we were enjoying some music, all right? If you have a very weak, or you have a weak internet connection, or you are subscribed to some of these companies that provide, I don't want to say anything on this platform, but I use Virgin, because in terms of Virgin, when you talk about the bandwidth, they're very, very strong. Majority of all these what do you call it? What do you call them? All these network providers, they will disappoint you. You can continue to do your Zoom, but when you now want to share video, you just see the video will be pausing, will be doing so many things will be happening because the internet is not strong, and Zoom consumes internet. So because you will use video and audio at the same time, you now want to share video. Oh my God, it will disappoint you. So make sure, so you can do whatever you like on Zoom. You can ask your praise and worship team to be in a place and make sure that the sound is good. All right, the sound is good, and everything is set. And then the camera, you have the cameraman, everything's set facing them. So everything is set facing them, and ensure that where they are, let's say you are in another location, your praise and worship team are in another location, where they are, ensure that the internet connection there too is good. It's excellent. Or else you will just see that we will be dancing, thank you, Lord. And they've already moved on to all we have to say. So everything will just be, nothing, it will not run seamlessly. Everything borders on your internet. That is what makes, the Zoom platform to run seamlessly. But alternatively, even if you are going to use pre-recorded videos, let's say you pre-recorded your praise and worship team and you are bringing them on the platform, ensure that your internet is strong, because at the end of the day, you will not be able to enjoy the music. So everything still borders. Zoom works well when you have a strong internet. All right. So that is, you can do, like I said, you can do all you want to do on Zoom. You can do. To share music, though, you will need to share your screen. Yes, yes, yes. You can also mute participants permanently. Yes. All right. I don't know why. What if I have the music on the USB? How does it work, please? You plug your USB onto your computer and you open the music. Make sure the music is open. All right. Like I said, anything you want to share on your screen, make sure that they are already opened on the background, so that by the time you click share screen and you click on that thing that is already open, I don't know the system you use to play your sound, maybe Windows Media Player or whatever media player you use, as your sound, make sure that window is opened. All right. So when it is opened and you still go through share screen. When you click share screen and you click on this, make sure that your computer audio and your computer sound is also enabled so that people can hear what you are playing. All right. So most of these things you go through share screen. All right. What else? Oh my God, there's so many. Any on the toolbar are built meeting, yes, for this already. So do this, Doctor? Sorry, some questions here. They are very somber. I don't know. So I'm just hoping that you have. I mean, we have been able to. I just hope that I've been able to answer all your questions on this platform. I hope so. I just want to, before maybe I can give one or two people to unmute and ask the question. I just want to inform you, by the grace of, I want to first of all thank all of you for coming, and to also most importantly thank Mommy May. I saw her come and go. I don't know whether Mommy is still on this platform, so I'm going to quickly scroll through to see if Mommy is here. So yes, Mommy is here. So that's my mother in the Lord. I thank you, ma, for your support, and and all the women of wisdom on this platform, thank you for joining. All the Numapreneurs on this platform, thank you for joining. All the men and women of God, Reverend Judith, I saw you came in very early. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, Reverend Constance. I may not be able to mention all the names here. Please, I just know that thank you for joining. I believe that this Zoom training has impacted you in one way or the other. Certain things have changed, in one way or the other. I'm going to post this video on YouTube. So if you want to go over it, you want to go over it again, it's on our website. It's on our YouTube page, which is, if you just search for Domint Numapreneurship Center on YouTube. So you will find all this information. So you can go over it again and again. And I also want to use this medium to invite you all on the 10th of October, which is next week, Saturday, to our international conference and exhibition of Christian entrepreneurship. In fact, we have several topics on how to re-strategize. We have revisioning, rebranding, re-ideating. Because of this country, because of this COVID-19, we need to be refreshed, and we need to press the refresh button. So I invite you to join this conference next week, Saturday, by God's grace. Thank you so much. Olayinka, if you can just put maybe the link there. Thank you for everyone to.
I have, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you. I'm going to stop let me just say, all right.